All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to Straight Talk and welcome back. It's been a minute, like every Tuesday and Saturday night. We are here, and we are here to discuss serious matters, whether it be crypto, whether it be race in America, or whether it be whatever else that may be on the menu that is important to the people. So that is my job. That is what I love to do, and I'm here to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and speak truth to power. Now, with all of that being said, we're not going to be here. Well, I'm not going to be here that long because I reduced it down to what I thought was important to talk about tonight, and it came down to my boy is on X, um, the amazing Lucas. Esto hacen mi show. So, with that being said, I really don't want to do a precursor to the show and have a comment because he did a really good job, Amazing Lucas, in shutting down the raccoon. And and not to go too far into it, but to talk about it. People who try to go along to get along with white supremacy are truly feeling overwhelmed, and that they would do anything and everything. Hey, brother Willie, what's up, man? I really appreciate you being here. And we got one for you, like every Saturday and Tuesday, right? But man, look, it's time to delineate even more than what we've done, and to cut white folks off because we don't need them; they need us, you know. And the more I think about it, the more I know it's correct. They're jealous like a motherfucker, more than one. And the one time or the awareness of it all is just overwhelmingly on our side. It's like we're playing spades with them. And they tricked us into believing we don't have no spades in our hand. We got all the motherfucking spades, man, in our hand. And just it doesn't confuse me. It doesn't it irritates me if I can say that without sounding overwhelmed by it, you know what I mean? Because I'm not. But the idea of the coon like Candace or Candace Owens or Oprah or The Rock all going for uh, pleasing white folks and getting in on the get in by getting bent over and trying to be famous with fame and fortune and money and celebrity, all that stuff. And to be honest, we don't need white folks for that shit. If we cut them off, don't associate, don't talk to them, don't do nothing, do you know they'll crash and burn and start committing suicide? They doing that shit now. We're barely delineating. But from what I'm hearing, there's no more for this year. I don't know how it's going to go for the rest of the year 26. But there's no Christmas and there's no Thanksgiving. We're cutting it down to the bone, baby. You know what I mean? And the Hodge twins, Officer Tatum, all these coon Negroes that I love to support white supremacy and making it look like they're the it when they ain't shit. But you know what, Brother Willie? I really believe and I know for a fact that all of the hate that they have given out, these white folks, to the world, is coming back to them. And all of the praise and glory that they've been getting unrighteously or dishonestly, because we are the descendants of the people who did it. And all of that the flower beds of Eve is for us, not for these fake ass Jews, not for these fake ass Muslims, the light skinned one, and not for the whatever. If you look at Coco Gauff, who just won the, I think it's Wimbledon or something like that. It's a famous girl. China loves her, man. She getting all kind of praise in it, and it's fucking white folks, and I'm glad because they're not going for, you won 10 straight Wimbledon. They're looking for character. They're looking for integrity. They're looking for humility, and all of that she got. You see, I'm the kind of person who knows that if I bless our ancestors and stand on their name and don't move, I can't help but to become blessed by them. Yeah, yeah. It never fails, brother Willie. It never fails, man. You reap what you sow. That's the universal law, and it doesn't apply just for white folks, for us too, and for everybody and anybody. So, tonight we're gonna go through some coon Negroes, man, that just want to go along to get along. And as soon as we can break rank with them and call it out and call a strike a motherfucking strike and a ball, it's all good. Just like our ancestors, it's all good. But once we start to really do and be ourselves, man, it's been one, bro. It's been one. And I just got through watching a YouTube show about how we create words and white folks take it and run with it and make millions. Like on Fleek, there was a sister who created that and make. I don't want to make up the name, but it was Taco Bell and a whole lot of other people or institutions and businesses who used it and just ran it right into the ground. And white folks are good for that shit, man. They take our shit and then they turn around and say, while we're using it, oh, that's just some nigga shit. I can ghetto. But as soon as they do it, it's all good. Dude, man, we are the flow and essence of this fucking world we live in. The black man and woman, we are and have always been and we will continue to be the very essence of the black universe filtered down in human form. You can't do shit about it. It is in our DNA. And that is something that white folk want. And we've seen countless hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of videos and interviews of white folk wanting to be at because wanting to be black, that is. Because they want it. Now the funny thing about it is they come from the black woman, they already black, they just don't have as much melanin. So, not to going too far into and the reason why they hate us so much is what my book is all about. The white man's burden of lies and deceit is for what we did to them. Take it or not, leave it or not, know it or not. It is the actual fact. And if you just take it at a lower level, I used to have a neighbor, brand new, came into the neighborhood, came into our block, looked to be nice, talked and all that stuff. But that arrogance got to him, and he got on the nerves of a lot of people, and we got him up out of here. So, when you look at history, you got to look at it. Why do white people hate black people so much? They just don't wake up one day. You know what I mean? I didn't wake up one day hating my neighbor. It's for what they did and how they act and how they talk. You feel me? That makes a lot of sense. If you put all of the evidence on the table, take out what don't make no damn sense. What is left is true. And now I was doing a show what and he didn't believe it, and I understand. I ain't like I just jumped up one day. This is the reason why. Blah, 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 blah. With Brother Maurice and Sister Cassie and all of them, we fucked them up. There were more white folk taken into slavery by black people than white people taking us into slavery. The word slave comes from the word Slavic Indo-European. They have always been slaves. You talking about taking the skin off their back and making door panels and book covers? This is what the King James Bible is about. Off the skin of them. Esto hacen a mi showcase. So when you're looking at all of that, bro, I'm not crazy. I'm not plum. I'm not some. I look at it for what it is. I'm not looking at it for my truth. I'm not looking at it for anybody else's truth. I'm not looking at it for trying to get over on somebody. I report the truth as an amateur historian, and I can guarantee you, Brother Willie, ain't no motherfucker, PhD or not, can beat me, except for the people who I learned from. I don't even, well, there's a couple of them that got a PhD in real history. You know what I mean? But I stay on the low, man. You feel me? I'm always in kindergarten. I'm always searching. I'm always reading. I'm always understanding. I'm always asking questions. I will never, ever be to the point where I know it all. And, fuck everybody else. It doesn't work that way, man. History is an ebb and flow of constant activities and actions and reactions and so on and so forth. And to be honest, Neil Tyson deGrasse, the astronomer, right? He even said that Africa will rule for thousands upon thousands of years. And he's right, because for all of the things that I talked about with South Africa, what the hell? Damn. Breaking news. Damn it. Boy. But whatever show that I was doing it on for the last 10 videos or so, I mentioned about that. And Africa is on the rise, man. We have control of the seven seas again. They recently sank not too long ago a naval warship of the United Nations in the water off the coast of West Africa. They told them to get the fuck out. If you don't, we're gonna sink your ass. And they sank them, and they ran like a bunch of fucking pussy. So you can see the white boy ain't shit, man. They really ain't. But tonight, I want to get right into it, so we can get right into it. Hold on, so I can bring that up. Where's that? Right here. Nope, that's not it. Here. Share screen, and we'll be right into it, man. I see this one about, yeah, Belky. Oh. So you can see what I'm talking about and how he gets into the ass of the Hodge twins. God damn shit, there's a bunch of goddamn Coonan Negroes. Coonan Negroes. I'll be 23 minutes. I'm going to do about half, do a comment, and then come back and finish it out.
Bruh. Oh my God. So many of you may not be aware, but I did a podcast with the Hodge twins about a few days ago, okay? And it got pretty heated because they got exposed, right? I made them look like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I made them look like the Sambo soldiers that they are. Now, for some reason, people keep on underestimating. I got two guns, nigga. And they hit me up. I'm like, yo, what are we talking about? He's like, okay, we're going to be talking about this. Let's get a date. I'm like, bet, right? I'm in LA. They in Vegas. So I spend time, I spend money to come to this podcast. There's me, the Hodge twins, this other black guy, another black guy, and then this Arab, right, the Palestinian. And we're going back and forth, and eventually it's looking bad for them. Now, in my experience, whenever it's looking bad, you usually have someone who tries to come in and save the video. We've seen this before when it's like what's his name, Sam Teeter versus Steven Crowder, and right, they were rushing when they saw it was Sam Teeter. People were rushing. Oh, there he is! Oh no, Sam Teeter! What a nightmare!
I had no idea this was going to happen. I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy. This is where we are. Yeah, remember I told you?
So they're getting blasted because I'm bringing up data, I'm bringing up facts. They clearly don't understand per capita versus raw numbers.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electromagnetism.
Because I ask them, hey, can you give me a stat for black people? And they're like, 1350, 13%. I'm like, okay, watch this. Can you give me a stat for white people? Well, if they commit 50% of crime, that means they must commit the other rest, right? Right? They didn't have anything, bro. I'm like, that's the point. That right there. So then I go off listing, hey, well, white men, when it comes to crime, when it comes to per capita, when it comes to larceny, when it comes to trafficking, right, which is what we're dealing with Epstein, when it comes to vandalism, when it comes to embezzlement, when it comes to, right, I'm listing a whole bunch of crimes per capita that are white men, and they're getting upset. Oh, right, when it comes to bestiality, when it comes to, I'm like, oh, what's the bestiality? How many people are that, right? Doesn't matter. The point that I was making is that you're highlighting this one stat, right? And we're not even looking at the exonerations. We're not looking at the false imprisonments. We're not looking at, we're not looking at any of that. The point is they try and make us the face of crime. I'm like, yo, you're looking at one crime. We look at a litany of things, right? And I go and tell them, well, you name me the black person that caused your interest rates to go up. You name me the black person that caused the depression. You name me the black person that caused the recession. You name me a black person that caused your house to be deflated in value. You name me the black person that did that. Then I get them. I'm like, yo, you tell me, because they're just really like losing it. But they get enslaved, bro. They get enslaved. That's what's happening, bro. This is light work for me, right? This is because both of them they share a brain cell. Okay, they passing the brain cell back and forth so they can talk to me. that's what's going on. I'm like I'm not even worried at all. So I ask them again. I'm like, yo, can you name me how black racism, because that's what they want to say, oh, everyone's racist. Okay, I was like, can you name me how black racism has negatively impacted white people as a whole? This mofo brings up, well, what about this story with the white girl and everything? I'm like, that's anecdotal. This mofo doesn't know what anecdotal means.
The tech legend
Hold
who's
on.
right about everything from LinkedIn to AI just got voice filled. And this is what he posted.
As God is my witness, bro. I'm talking to actual retards. And that's why I tell them. I was like, this is borderline mental retardation. This mofo doesn't know what per capita means. This other mofo doesn't know what anecdotal means. He's like, I'm telling you, this is proof. I'm like, that's anecdotal, fam. I'm talking about as a whole. He's like, oh, you just see race. And I'm like, what do you mean I just see race? This country was founded off of race, right? We look at the 1790 Naturalization Act. Y'all know what that is? No. I'm like, that's what they're spamming right now. How white men of good stock, right? Good moral character. It wasn't until, 1860 or whatever, that birthright citizenship came involved. And I'm like, yo, if they had not just been racist, if they had just paused on their racism, we wouldn't have to worry about all the immigrants and everything that's happening. He also said black Americans who are descendants from chattel slaves are now considered citizens, so be it. But that's not what they did, right? They said, well, anyone born here can be a citizen. And you see how Trump is trying to say exactly what they mixed it for as, hey, this wasn't supposed to be for everyone, it was supposed to be for them. That's the point that I was making. They didn't like that. Then they're trying to tell me, oh, you're just dealing in the past, right? Because of racism. So I'm like, okay, you're trying to act like the past doesn't have an impact on the present or the future? And these dingleberries told me no. Now, I did a whole live stream of this after because I was blown away by the stupidity. Because I said, I'm dealing with the sea of stupidity. That's what I said. Now, I want you to understand, while I'm giving them this work, we have the Palestinian, the pale white Palestinian who's interjecting, right? Trying to say, well, that's not true. That's not true. Oh, what about white people? Oh, it's white people bad, huh? White people. I'm like, who is this? So throughout the interview, I'm telling him, have him have a seat. Tell him to have a seat. So he keeps on interjecting. He's like, you don't want any of that. I was like, no, I do. I do want some of that, bro. And tell him to have a seat. Because he keeps on peanut gallery, right? Oh, that's not true. Oh, this and that. Oh, what study is that? I'm like, whose man is this? And he's doing this throughout the interview, right? Throughout the interview. It's literally 3 versus 1. But every single time I address him and his peanut gallery, they get on me. Hey, it's not, he's not in this. I'm like, is this how y'all conduct the interview? Does he interject like this? And they're like, yeah, sometimes. I'm like, as frequent though? They're like, yeah. Right. Now, we know, as I said before, every time someone interjects is if you're losing the fight. If you lose the fight, that's when somebody comes in and tries to, that's what he's doing, because they get blown out. So I'm trying to ignore him. But the first time, he was like, oh, we're all N-word, right, to the Jews. And I heard that. I'm like, what the F did you say, right? I get it. I'm not allowing someone to just say the hard R, right, in my presence. Now, no one else responded to it. The 2 black men that were sitting down didn't respond to it. The twins didn't respond to it. I'm the only one. So I'm in a room full of Sambo soldiers, brother. And they had this Palestinian. He talks about how he fled Palestine because of what was going on, and now he's with his family. He said to the Jews, we're all in. I'm like, you don't say that, right? I don't want to hear that word come out of your mouth, right? And you have this black man, he's been on videos with the twins before. You have him trying to say, hold on, because I said, I'll smack I told him I'd smack the dog ish out of him. I let him know that you don't do that, but there's going to be a physical repercussion, essentially. Now, the Hodge twins were like, no, you're not. I was like, listen, you want to bet? I was like, I bet you. I told them, I was like, hey, there's no one in this room that's going to be able to stop me from putting hands on him. No one. And they're like, that's not true. I'll be able to stop you. And I was like, okay, let's count to 5 and test that, right? You want to count to 5? That's what I told them.
I count 2 guns, nigga.
Hi, I'm
Hold on.
Martina, and I'm 29. I love staying active with philosophy.
I was like, let's count to 5. That's when the black dude started. He's like, everybody calm down now. Now, Lucas, he wasn't calling you that. It was the context. I said, I don't give a F about the context. I don't want to hear the N-word coming from this non-melanated, non-black person. I don't want to hear them. Okay? It's simple as that. So we're getting into it. We go back to the podcast, right? We're going back to the interview. And I tell him, I was like, because it's Keith I forgot the one, because I forgot the name. I don't know the freaking names. I don't care. I don't watch their show. And that's why I started off the podcast saying, they're like, so do you watch our show? I was like, no, I don't watch your show. I don't know. Because they were asking, well, what do you think is the difference between us and you? Right? Because they were trying to, I think it was Kevin, he was trying to pronounce differentiation, and he couldn't pronounce it. He was like, what's the differentiation? I was like, well, one is that I can pronounce differentiation. That's one that separates us, okay, first off. But going back to the past impacts the present and the future. I was like, Keith, that's the other one, Keith. I was like, do you fly? He was like, yes. I was like, do you do TSA? He was like, yes. I was like, where do you think that came from? That came from 9/11.
Hold on, let that motorcycle go by. I hate that.
And they were like, what does 9/11 have to do with anything? I was like, 9/11, right? The reason for that is what caused the Patriot Act. Okay, that's why we have the TSA. He was like, that's how it impacts your life. This man looked at me and said, no, it doesn't. And I'm like, do you not go through TSA? He was like, no, I go through TSA.
Aren't you Patrick Star?
Do you have to go through the scan and they take off your shoes and stuff? He's like, yeah.
And this is your ID.
Then it impacts your life. He's like, no, it doesn't. I still get to fly.
Then take it.
It's not my wallet.
And that's when I was like, okay, this is borderline retardation. You're telling me because you get to fly, TSA doesn't impact your life. And it's like, it obviously does impact your life. What are you talking about?
But Rondo's got what plants pray.
It's got electromagnetic.
Yeah, I was just awestruck by the level of stupidity that was on display. And it came to racism, right? Because I brought up the study where it talks about, hey, there's a father in the household, that, there's a mother in the household, they live in an affluent neighborhood, right? They're, good income, that one of the factors that will determine if the child will go to prison, okay, is the racial bias of the people around them, the racial bias of the white people around them. They lose it. Oh, I don't believe you. I don't believe that. I'm like, you can look it up. What are you talking about? Then this fool starts interjecting whatever. I was like, why don't you shut the F up? Like, that's what you need to do. Shut the F up. So he said something like, blah, 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 F and N-word. What did you say, nigga? I'm like, that's when I get up. That's when I get up. I said, what the F did you say? I said, what the F did you say? The Hodge twins get up. They're like, hey, why are you going towards him, man? Why you getting in his face? I'm not getting in his face. I'm asking the question. I said, I'm asking him, hey, what the F did you say? So now I got the Hodge twins in front of me, right? The dynamic is insane. I got two black men, right, in front of me protecting a pale Arab Palestinian who had just called me a hard R. Because before, he was trying to say, well, I meant it in the context that we're all, N-words. This time, he was using it to disparage me, right?
I'm going to stop right there before I continue. But let me say this: this is just absolutely, positively insane. That in America and perhaps the whole world over, we allow the non-melanated motherfuckers to do what they want to do, when they want to do, how they want to do it, and getting the support from our own. And this is what I talk about practically all the time. There is a limit to this shit. The limit is zero. There is no limit. Let me rephrase that. Enough is enough of these raccoons trying to go along to get along and try to do what they can to get whatever crumbs off the fucking table that they can get that will allow them to live a peaceful life. Now, if you not only a peaceful life, but a life with money that they think they can get from that table, right? There's a whole plethora of this bullshit. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking about the rappers who go on to become big fame and name people with a lot of money, and they're not rapping about anything. They don't have any game about that, not like in the 80s, and they get bent over and get fucked in the ass because they want to be the inside game. They want to be a satanic worshiper, and this is bad. This is not what it's about. And there are just some people who don't do that. I'm trying to think of the brother's name. He's a little on the light side, but he's not. I'm not talking about Drake. That motherfucker is all the way in on that shit, as well as Riri, Rihanna. But you get what I'm saying? There got to be there's no tolerance for this bullshit. White folks love us to see us like that, and it is just absolutely, positively stomach turning that we have no idea as to how powerful we are. That if we knew a little bit about our history, we wouldn't do that shit. But we're talking to a people who don't even, like the Hodge twins, like Candace Owens, like a whole bunch of other ones, Officer Tatum. They don't have a clue as to our history. And therefore, they go by that, I'm white and I say so. Well, he white, he said so. They got to be right. Man, Brother Willie, I swear to God. I swear for God, if I get on these shows, like that white boy out of England, oh shit. What's that boy's name? Damn, I have it. I'm always forgetting his name. Peter? No. He has his show that comes on practically every night. I can't remember that boy name. But any white motherfucker who want to have it out with me about my book and about white folks, I'm going to eat them up. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to go along together. I don't give a fuck about these motherfuckers. Black, lying motherfuckers, and want to be white, lying motherfuckers. Because to be honest with you, these white folks are nothing but troglodytes, acting like they're human when they know they're not. And you're gonna see that tonight with one of these white boys who I thought was one of these wannabe, superior people, but the motherfucker is spitting game. They're like, God damn, I didn't know that. Jake Paul, and we're gonna see that tonight, man. I was stunned. Now, what going on with other stuff? Why he's a boxer? He's not no boxer. He's supposed to have a real life fight with Joshua, the ex champion. And I think that's on December the 9th. He's going to get knocked the fuck out in about, I wouldn't give him no more than 10 seconds. But anyway, let's go on back and finish that, and then I'll be right back.
Jordan. And he was trying to say, why are you getting up so upset? Why are you getting up so upset? This is what the Arab guy is saying to me, right? Because I got the Hodge twins right here. They trying to bury it. I don't give. Now, if I really wanted the stuff to pop off, that wouldn't matter to me. But I'm like, why don't you? I was like, stand on 10, be a man, say what you said. Didn't you say it? He's like, yeah, I said it. And that's when the Hodgson was like, it's just a word. And then we get into the conversation about it's just a word. He's like, you can't allow that word to impact you. I was like, what do you mean I can't allow that word to impact you? What are you talking about? That's the whole point of freaking words, is that they have meanings, right? If I'm getting upset by the words he's using, that doesn't mean that it's it's controlling me. That means I understand. That means he is trying to communicate to me, and I understand what he is trying to communicate. That's the same thing when you all talk about what is a man, what is a woman, right? You can't just say, oh, it's just words, and then be like, well, a man is this and a woman is that. This fool Keith is like, well, that's not true. That's a different thing. He's like, you try to conflate things. You try to conflate the past with the present. You just like destiny. That's what you like. Bro, it was crazy. It was crazy. Long story short, they got embarrassed, bro. That's what happened. They got embarrassed, and that's what happens, because I get Keith, or is it Kevin? I get Kevin. Kevin's like, I was like, what are you talking about? What, that word is disparaging. If you know the history of that word.
Hold on. The name of that guy that's from Britain is called Piers Morgan. That's what it is.
You know where that word come from? You know what that means? He was like, you know what? I was like, why don't you care? You should care, right? He's like, he's talking ill about black people. That's when Keith, no, not Keith, because Keith was on this side, Kevin. That's when Kevin comes out and says, I don't care about black people. I was like, there we go. There we go. All right. Glad you said it. I'm glad we got that on camera. He straight up said, I don't care about black people. And then he was like, and then he heard what he said. And then he was like, wait, let me clarify.
He meant what the fuck he said.
I don't care about any race. I don't care about any race, right? We're all just people. We're all just, okay, all right. Mm-hmm. Right? I have nothing to say, because you already exposed yourself. These are 50-year-old, out-of-shape men with families. They got kids and everything, and this fool's talking about he doesn't care about black people. I only care about myself. That's what they're telling me.
I miss you like a whole miss fly.
I'm like, well, there you go. That's the problem. And he was like, well, if you don't like the country, why don't you go to Africa? I'm like, why don't I go to Africa? Because that's what the Arab said. The Arab told me, they both said that to me, fam. Do you understand how much of a mind dazzle that was? To hear a Palestinian who had just fled, right, tell me, after criticizing what's going on in this country, tell me, hey, why don't you go to Africa? Then you had Keith tell me, why don't you go to Africa? Okay, since we was kings and everything. I was like, why are y'all saying it like that, right? I was like, why did you say it like that? Are you aware of the history of Africa? Huh? Were there not kings in Africa? And he was like, I don't care about Africa. I don't know anything about Africa. I was like, then why are you talking? Why you have Africa in your mouth? You don't know anything about Africa, huh? Why are you disparaging Africans? He was like, if you don't like it here, if it's so bad here, then go to Africa. I was like, what do you mean? What does that mean? What are you talking about? It's just, it was insane, man. It was absolutely insane. And it got to the point where I was telling them, I was like, if you don't know anything about Africa, why you bring up Africa as if it's a bad thing? Furthermore, that mindset of just go to Africa, we wouldn't have this country if we had the same mindset that you two Sambo soldiers had. If we had the mindset of you don't like it, then leave, think about that. What if somebody told the Americans, the settlers, hey, when it came to the British, when it came to no representation, taxation without representation, what happened if somebody said what y'all said, hey, if you don't like it, just leave, okay? Just leave, man. What's the issue? I was like, no, what did they do? They threw that tea into the water, right? They fought. They bled and fought for this. Because no, it was not about, hey, if you don't like it, then leave. We wouldn't have gotten as far as civil rights. We wouldn't have gotten affirmative action. We wouldn't have gotten the right to vote. And I started listing off all the laws. And they silent. They just, because I'm just exposing their ignorance. So, anyways, it ends, we take a picture. I'm like, I'm not smiling, bro. Because the Arab, the Palestinian dude, he wanted me to smile in the picture. Because they have like this wall of pictures that they have and everything. I'm like, I'm not smiling. All right, I'm like, the optics of me smiling right here is horrible. I'm not doing that. So he's like, let's do another one. So I give him a little smirk. I'm like, he's like, okay, he smirked. But I'm not going to smile, bro. What are we talking about, bro? Right? And they get upset because I was like, you guys, you have a comprehension problem. So Keith starts getting upset. Man, you done said I have a comprehension problem. You called me stupid. What I should have said is like, what are you so upset? I thought they were just words. What? That's what I should have said. But, I blanked at the time. But yeah, I was like, you have a comprehension problem. You guys have a comprehension problem. It just is what it is. It's not my fault. And he was like, oh, see, you can't say anything to him because he thinks he knows everything. I'm like, no, you guys are just wrong consistently.
Hold on.
Here with unit here visiting the Emirati hospital in Rafah.
It's not my fault. If you say 1 + 1 is 4, and I say, no, that's wrong, okay? And I say it's 2, and you say that 4 + 4 is 16, I say, no, that's wrong. And then you say 6 + 6 is 37, I say, no, that's wrong. That's not me thinking I'm right. That's you just being consistently wrong because you're dumb. Damn. So that's what it all revolved around, right? And they're trying to tell me, oh, you should get your message out differently. It's the way you say things. I'm like, I don't give a F about how I say things. I say things the way I say things. Don't you guys say things the way you say things? Doesn't Candace and everyone else say things the way they say things? I'm not gonna, make my message or water down my message to make it more palatable for the masses because it's not meant for the masses.
Now, don't water down your truth. Not your truth. Truth. Let that motherfucker stand on its own, like black coffee. If you're adding too much milk in it, it ain't gonna be as strong as you would want it to be. Stand on that motherfucker and don't move, and know that in the end you're gonna be proven right. That's how it's gonna go.
And now that person who may likes me, they can then deliver the message in a different manner to their audience or to their social circle, and so be it. But I'm not toning down my rhetoric because you upset by it. That has nothing to do with me. Anyways, long story short, that was the gist of the interview we had. They got dog walked, bro. That's what happened. Okay, I don't know what they were expecting. I really don't know. But listen, 2 of them versus me, it still wasn't a fair fight because both of them make up like a half of a man. Okay, both of them make up like a half of a brain, bro. And I'm being generous with the half because it's probably like a quarter. But I don't think they understand the difference between a quarter or a half or a whole. But that's besides the point. Going to the point of this video, the reason why I give you that recap is because allegedly, right, the person who I've been in contact with, I believe is the same Arab guy, he told me that upon me leaving, they kicked him out and fired him. And they don't plan on releasing the episode. They don't plan on releasing the interview. And that's really irritating. So I just want to let you all know, okay, I have the pictures to prove that I was there. I have the emails. I have all that. But I did do the interview. I did fairly well. If I do say so myself, I held my own, okay? I held my own. But he said that they don't plan on releasing the interview. I think that's BS. Okay, I think that's a hot pile of garbage. I'm hoping that this is a troll. That's what I'm hoping. I'm glad that fool got fired because he's racist. Simple as that. Like, what are we talking about? The fact that two black men hired a racist is insane. An undercover racist is crazy. But nevertheless, that's what he relayed to me. I DM'd the Hodge twins on Twitter. I was like, yo, where's the podcast? I got little, clips and pieces on my phone, but I don't have the full thing. When are you going to release it? So they haven't responded. I'm waiting for a response. So I just want to be transparent because I know many of y'all were like, where's the interview? We want to see the interview. I should have brought my own recording gear and everything, but like I told y'all before, I was like, this is, I wasn't really concerned about this, to be honest. It was very much, relaxing because they tried to tell me, oh, I thought this was a waste of our time. I was like, I'm sorry you feel that way. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So that's where we're at right now. That's where they have the footage. Okay. I don't have the footage. If they want to release it, which I think they should, because I didn't get reimbursed for anything. They didn't reimburse me for anything. They didn't even give me an Uber, fam. Much less for the flight or none of that. So the least that they can do is release the interview. Not even the unedited raw interview. Because I don't lie. I have no reason to lie in situations like this. I tell like it is. Okay? So I just wanted to put that out there and let y'all know where the interview is, what's the holdup, what's going on, just to be transparent with you guys. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not believe, I don't know. What's the either or here? I just told you what happened. I'm sure there's a lot more here and there that I could have elaborated on, but that's the gist of what happened. I told you that, hey, they not. That's what the editor, I don't know who he is, the sound guy, whatever. That's what he said. Waiting for a reply from them. We'll see what happens. If you all can hit them up and let them know to release, like the Snyder cut, they need they need to release the Lucas cut. That's what they need to do. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you have a disagreement, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday, disagreement day. But if you enjoy the video, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think and subscribe. And until next time, guys. Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. And subscribe. And that fun stuff got me discombobulated. And until next time, guys, stay amazing.
Yeah, I like this guy. He really tells it like it is. Not his truth, not their truth. Just fucking truth. So there we have it. One of the things that I want to try to focus in on now as we move forward is the reality that we are facing as a people, not only in America, but around the world. We got to come together because I can honestly tell you, as soon as we wake up, it's game over. Flip the motherfucking table, the chessboard over, because it's being played on our back. And once we wake up and stand up, the game is over, man. Just bitch slap the shit out of the white folks. They're playing the Wizard of Oz game. Pull back the curtain, find out they're little midgets acting and blowing smoke up our asses and everybody else's asses. That is over. You don't think that the Chinese remember the Opium Wars and addicting tens of millions of Chinese to drug opium and wherever other places that they did this shit? Like America. With one white boy being sniped out or killed because he exposed it, the cocaine and the guns and all of that in the black community, they were making money. And after the Opium War, they cleaned that money up and came back to America and started buying real estate and opening up museums and charities and all this bullshit. Universities like Harvard, Yale, Princeton, giving big time money. You see how that shit go? And you don't think that the Chinese don't want revenge? You don't think they want revenge? Hell, motherfucking yeah, they want revenge. The whole fucking brown people, the global South, is tired of the West. White folks, bullshit. And like Brother Willie was saying, what goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. The sins of the father and mother are visited upon their children. And that shit is not on my hand. And to be honest with you, if I see a motherfucking white boy, girl, people fall on the ground, stepping right over. I don't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck about us. They didn't give a fuck about us. They didn't give a fuck about us. Feeding our baby to alligators and shit. Hanging us still from the tree. Eating us still. It is reported that in the 1970s they stopped eating black folks. No, they didn't. They still do that shit. A person eating another person, that's an animal. And these people are animals. Even after 3 times of civilizing these bitches. Once in Egypt, once in Greece and Rome, and now after ruling Europe for 1,000 years, from the 700 to really the 1800, because we were fighting to get our black supremacy and black superiority back, and that came to a screeching halt, to whatever degree that may be, in the 1880s. So we did not stop in 1492. Oh, they won. That wasn't white folks doing. That was a black on black crime. That was the black Christians against the black Jews. They wanted our wealth. That's what happened. And shipped our asses over to West Africa and San Tome, and from San Tome to the Americas. The Americas consist of all of the Caribbean islands, North, South, and Central America, and Canada. That's what happened. A group of people called the Lancados, the group of people called the Moriscos. So let's go on and see what the Chinese man is talking about. And he confirmed of everything. Asian men explain Jeffrey Epstein and global white supremacy. Hold on. Damn, how long? How long is it? Nobody will say. What the hell? Okay, I'll be right back.
What's going on by this Afro think tank? Asian man explains Jeffrey Epstein and his history and where he comes from. Don't you guys find it kind of weird that a guy who didn't finish college, doesn't have any particularly legitimate set of skills, end up being a multi-billionaire, shuffling politicians and port people to islands to have their way with children? Schmoozing on the upper echelons of society, just, some average white dude. Nothing special about him. This is the ultimate form of DEI for white. This is white DEI or white DEI type shit. White folks have been hooking themselves up with their own form of white DEI for so long that they can't even recognize when shit is fair. They don't even know what fair is. All right? They don't know what even playing field is because they ain't never been on one. All right? And when you really look in the history of Jeffrey Epstein, you can tell that he was a cultivated criminal. That he's a criminal amongst other criminals. That the real criminals are these white people in suits who make the rules and make the laws and create the countries and pay for it, buy, sponsor, and tell the politicians what to do on behalf of them and their corporations. The real criminals, while they chastise and punish other people for doing the same thing on lower levels, because they got the nerve to not be rich like them.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened before the Opium Wars and after. After they made their money, they created laws and said, "No, you can't do that like we did. You can't make that money now. You can't be selling drugs and getting rich. That's not allowed." White boys.
Anyway, you tell me what y'all guys think about this in the comment section. It's Apple Think Tank. Learn some, teach them. I'm out.
Has anyone even looked at Jeffrey Epstein's background story? Because I have. And it does not add up. Picture this. 1976, you have a college dropout teaching physics at one of the most prestigious schools in Manhattan. And 2 years later, he gets picked up by Bear Stearns, one of the largest investment banks at the time. It's not an internship. It's not an analyst position. He goes straight to the trading floor. Talk to anybody on Wall Street. This kind of thing does not happen. And 4 years after that, he becomes limited partner. He must be the fastest partner track promotion in the history of Wall Street. 4 years today in investment banking, you're barely out of your analyst years. And as if all of that was not enough, he placed a position a year later to do
consulting. There are much meagerly paid VPs out there who have golden handcuffs. And this guy, an option trading prodigy apparently, just leaves his job after a year. It's almost as if that was not his real job. Shortly after that, Epstein is wrapped up in one of the largest Ponzi schemes in U.S. history, the largest before Bernie Madoff. And Epstein, despite being one of the key men in that operation, gets off scot-free. A few years later, he has his own advisory shop with one client. No audits, no employees, just Les Wexner, who gets some power of attorney over $1 billion worth of assets. He goes around buying $1 million mansions, 727s, and even private islands. Fast forward to 2007, he gets caught up in child abuse allegations. But Epstein and several other people involved get a secret plea bargain. If this was a TV show, we would say it's badly written plot armor. And this is just this guy's life before all the stuff we know him for. Why is it that nobody's raising questions about this? Because the only way this actually adds up is if Epstein is an intelligence operator. And that would mean somebody somewhere decided that all of this was worth it.
So these Epstein files, these emails, they're being released, and they're really enlightening, and they really illuminate for us how it works. So I will give a structural overview of what these emails reveal to us, okay? The first thing it reveals to us is that all these people in power, the elite, they're all friends with each other. So in public, the Democrats, the Republicans, they can be fighting each other, but in reality, they go to the same schools, they go to the same parties, they're just friends with each other. So what you're seeing in public, the sort of like political struggle in public, it's all just fake. It's like wrestling. It's reality TV. The elite are all friends with each other. That's the first thing. Second thing that we've noticed about the emails is how cavalier the elite are. They think that they're above everyone else. They think they're untouchable. So they just speak their minds freely. Jeffrey Epstein, he was using Gmail in order to make all these sensitive communications. There's absolutely no operation security. He didn't really care because he believed he was untouchable. And that's how the elite think and behave. They live in a bubble. They think that they control the world, and they're untouchable. So they can do whatever they want. And all that matters is staying within this bubble, staying close to each other. The third thing I will say is that these emails don't tell us, but we can assume that there are many layers of networking among the elite. So Jeffrey Epstein, why was he so popular among the elite? Well, first of all, he was just a friendly guy who did a lot of networking and was able to bring the elite together. But if you go to Epstein Island, you will find that there's a temple there that's almost designed for ritual sacrifice. So what I researched and what I discovered is that the way that the elite stay together is through rituals, secret society rituals. Why? Because at the end of the day, you're part of the elite. Your biggest problem is trust. How can you trust that person to not rat you out in this global struggle? And the answer is, well, you blackmail each other, right? So you act together. That would be considered taboo, including sex with underage children. There are lots of transgressions that you can do, and the more transgressions you do, the more cohesive the elite is. So, unfortunately, if you dig deeper into Jeffrey Epstein, what you'll find is a lot of transgressions, both sexual and violent as well, bringing these social taboos. Like the public. What's really astonishing about the Jeffrey Epstein case is that slowly the inner workings of the elite are being revealed to the public. And all these conspiracy theories that we once believed can possibly be true, including that the entire American elite are just a bunch of pedophiles, they're slowly turning out to be true. And this marks a radical turning point in American history.
Dude, but you know Jeffrey Epstein? Who's that? You don't like Jeffrey Epstein? No, who's that? Bro, check this out. Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein, right? He was this billionaire. He was friends with Donald Trump, all of these celebrities. Yeah. So many celebrities, bro. Rich and powerful people, presidents, everything. Yeah. He had this island. This is well known. A lot of people know about this theory. He had this island where he would take people and throw a party, right? Huge party. But they got caught for a lot of trafficking and trafficking. And they're very heavy, bro. Take this in. He got arrested, right? And when he got locked up, people were saying, "Oh, they're gonna kill him. They're gonna kill him because he's gonna spill all the secrets, right? All the secrets about who was at those parties, who attended, what they were doing, right? He has so much information on a lot of powerful people. What happened to him?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.
So, this is another one from Amazing Lucas. The whitest white nationalists on X are literally bad. When I saw this, it was unfucking with. This is what I'm talking about. You're trying to go along to get along, make white folks feel comfortable. It should be the last thing on our mind. It should be about us revealing who they are, because they don't even know that they're not white. They're not Caucasian, they're Anglo-Saxon, they're not European. They're just a bunch of motherfucking troglodytes. That's it. They've been tricked by their own people. Mothers, fathers, grandmother, grandfather, going all the way back. About 150 years. Because the concept of whiteness started in 1680. So it's 1780, 1980, 150 years. Being white or white is only 150 years. They just got here. They just got started. But it sank in, and finally in the 1880s, I'm white. I got power. I can help you niggas. I can help you Negroes to get your... They never did it, motherfucking. They was about them. It wasn't about us. White folks and white men did not free us. We freed ourselves. The Seminole War. I can just go on and on, because I don't want to waste too much time. But the idea is that we have always been free. We were never slaves in America. We're not Slavic, Indo-European. That's where the word comes from. We were prisoners of war, my people. It was a black-on-black crime, my people. It was the black Christians against the Jews who were black. They wanted their money. And when they got it, they said, bye-bye. We're going to transport your asses to West Africa. During the transatlantic slave trade, which is a new word for the Spanish Inquisition, is what happened. White folks had nothing to do with that. It was our own that did us in. And the people who were transported to or from West Africa were not only the Moriscos, the Muslim, but the Jews. This is why I say, and this is why I know that in 1619, those few Africans that came over to the America ended their name, or their last name was Negro. That comes from the chief rabbi of the Negro village in Portugal. Had nothing to do with white folks naming that. They were so proud of their color. And this is the reason why I say, and the reason why I know, that black folks we have a connection with the universe. White folks know this shit. You mean to fucking tell me you don't know? You don't know? I can honestly tell you, for the majority of our people in America, once y'all wake up, that's it. Okay, hold on. Shut the fuck up. Oh, these kids, boy, I tell you, tell them to be quiet. They don't know how to be quiet. But anyway, we're gonna go on to this one. 13 minutes, and I'll be right back.
Oh my goodness. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it seems that white nationalism has been infiltrated by brown people. As crazy as that may sound, right? I'm hearing what I'm saying, and I'm like, I don't believe it. But that seems to be the case, right? Most recently, we had Nikki Haley's son, okay? He's on an interview with Tucker Carlson. And he's talking about, immigration. I don't even know where to begin. No naturalized citizen should be able to run for office. And, these foreign students, we got to be taking care of our own.
And there's so many different aspects to immigration that it's not just the migration part of it, but a lot of other things that are just out of control.
Like what?
So, naturalized citizens should not be able to hold public office. We need to stop and limit the amount of foreign students that are coming into our universities. Some of them are spies, by the way, for foreign governments. But it's also just we should put our kids first.
Yes.
And I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, is he crazy? Right. Like, for those of you who don't know, he is the son of an immigrant. Nikki Haley, that's not even her real name. Her real name is like Nimrata Wandawa, okay? that's her real name, bruh. Like, she came here, the only reason she is a citizen is via birthright citizenship. Something that was done for the slaves, the black American slaves at the time. Yeah, that's how she became a citizen. Her parents weren't even citizens at the time of her birth, okay? Do you hear what I'm saying? And we have this Indian man, this Indian kid talking about, the foreigner students. Oh, you are the foreigner student.
Stop.
Hold
Let me
on.
tell you about Institute's Black Friday deal.
Just 27. What are we talking about? This is crazy.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Do you understand how delusional you have to be talking like this? Right? Talking about immigration. Like, the only reason you are here is because of immigration. Damn. Then we go, right, David Ramaswamy and him talking about immigration. Now, he got his wake-up call pretty recent. So his tune has definitely changed. He got his wake-up call when it came to Doge. He was talking about, listen, the white mediocrity is destroying the country. And they're like, what? Get your Indian self out of here. And they kicked him out real fast, okay? Because when it was brought up in an interview with him, he was like, well, we're all, birthright citizens. Well, that's what we're all are. It's like,
So your father is not a citizen of the United States?
he's not.
Okay.
Beta.
And your mother, when did your mom take the citizenship test? Was it before or after you were born?
After I was born.
Beta.
So you gained citizenship through birthright then?
But you gain citizenship through birthright citizenship in that sense too, right?
Beta.
You and I are not the same, all right? You're not the same. And then when they try and tap dance for the white nationalists and for the racists, I'm like, do you think that because you're tap dancing for them, that they view you as one of them? You're delusional. Another person, right? Amaru Fadul, the dude, right? That guy, also Myron Gaines, whatever. He got his wake-up call, even though he refuses to accept it. But there was a white guy who was like, yo, this is why I don't team up with with brown people.
Myron, you were in MySpace the other day, and I said, you're doing a great job calling these Jews, but, if we take this country back, we want it for white folks, and would you go home? And you said, I was born here, and I'm not going anywhere. And this is where I think the problem is with working with non-whites, is that once you think you help us, that you're just going to stay in our country.
Damn!
You see what I mean? I wish I would have been there with Lucas, man. But listen. America was created by black people. King James was a black king of England that started the 13 colonies. It was the state of Virginia that said that you niggas cannot buy white folks no more. It didn't say it like that, but I'm just saying it was the first state that did not allow black people to buy white slaves. You understand what I'm saying? and all the other bullshit that came along later. That man, but you got to know your history. You got to know your history. You got to know your history. That's why it's so important. You wouldn't fall for this bullshit. You wouldn't fall for the okie doke. You wouldn't fall for the smoke of the Wizard of Oz.
It's wild seeing this, even on Twitter. So Twitter, if you guys aren't aware, Twitter had a policy that they were implementing where you could check someone's account and see where their account is based. Well, guess what? All of these white nationalist accounts, all of them were like either from Nigeria, they were from India, it was everywhere but America. So we're seeing all of this, white Aryan Brotherhood, and it's it's an Indian person, in Pakistan or something. And I'm just like, what? What?
How do you do, fellow kids?
What? Right? It's wild to see. Now, my thought is that they're just doing that to get a paycheck, right? Because they're essentially exploiting the white ignorance. That's what they're doing. And this is something I brought before, where I knew of a person who hated Trump, but during his campaign when he was running in 2016, the last one, he was selling MAGA shirts. This was a person that despised Trump, but was collecting monies, bruh. Collecting monies off of selling MAGA merchandise. It blew my mind, bro. I couldn't believe it. And that's what we're witnessing. So I assume that's exactly what they're doing. They're generating, rage baiting or, pandering to these ignorants. they're not white themselves. They don't even live in the States. But I guess X is paying them, right? Based off of clicks, based off of likes, based off of engagement. So they're like, hey, it's a win-win.
Isn't it true that you're really an Indian? By many arms of Vishnu, I swear it is a lie.
But most notably would be, the leader of the white nationalism right now would be, I would argue, it would be Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, basically a Mexican, right? A half Mexican. And
You're saying you're a white supremacist? I'm not a white supremacist. I'm excellent.
He estado buscando
Ahora,
ofertas de trabajo virtual en español en esta plataforma y mira cuántas hay. De hecho, mira esto.
I know, I kind of know white supremacist. I saw that.
Beta. It's just, it's wild to see. I'm like, all these white nationalists, is there one white person behind these accounts? Is there anyone who is not, not, I don't know, Indian, Pakistan, Mexican? Is there just a white dude who's like, hey, I'm for white people? It's wild to see, because now you have Nick Fuentes who's talking about, hey, I'll team up with anyone, all right? I think we should have health care. I think we should be for American people. Okay, I'll work with Ram Dami. I'll work with these people. I'll work with the left.
Populist Republicans and populist Democrats that just solve problems. Just solve problems for Americans. And by the way, I am willing to compromise with the left. 100%.
He's got to be listening to what I've been saying, because he even talks about white ignorance. Because someone was asking him, hey, should we have a literacy test when it comes to voting? He was like, no, because it's the ignorance who are holding this country together.
Thinking the problem is uninformed people are voting. Uninformed people are the only thing keeping the country going.
He's out of line, but he's right.
The 20% of people that could find Iraq on a map are all liberals, okay?
Because as I've said before, the majority of the Republican Party are low IQ, white ignorants. It just is what it is. That live in rural areas, right? Flyover states, and they're just, they're just being propagandized to.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
They think, oh, Trump's got, helping me out. Nikki Haley gonna vote, she gonna help me out. And it's like, bro, these people don't even live in your neighborhood, bro. What are you talking about? You're on SNAP benefits, and they got you thinking that you getting kicked off your benefits, you paying more for groceries, you not having health care is a win because black crime in Chicago. Damn, it's interesting to see, because he's saying, hey, we need to do something for the American people. I'm more than happy to let in a group of people, to let in people and to rethink some of our strategies. And he even mentions, marginalized groups.
That's why I said we need to rethink and realign our politics based on what actually matters. And on the right, we can work together with the left. Maybe we have to let go of some of the cruelty and abuse directed at some of the marginalized communities on their side. It's true. There are marginal people. What else would you call a racial minority?
Now, that turned off a lot of white bigots. See, that turned off a lot of white nationalists, marginalized group. What you talking about? And the irony is now they're attacking Fuentes, bro. They're attacking Nick. This dude, I forgot his name, Arbol, whatever. So the white guy who's like building up the city in Arkansas for white people, bro. The comedy about that is that this dude was making adult content with his, believe now ex-wife. He was making adult content, and apparently he's used that money to now fund this Arkansas all-white neighborhood. I don't know what to tell you, man. They keep on talking about degeneracy, and they the ones that create it. They keep on talking about, violence, and they're the authors of it. It's fascinating. As I go on to say, time and time again, every accusation is nothing more than a confession for these people. It just is what it is, a lineage of evil. So he's doing all this, and he's calling out Nick Fuentes. He's like, hey, he's taking his position. He doesn't care about white identitarianism anymore, and we got to do this for white people. I'm just like, bruh, y'all got to figure out what's going on, man. Y'all got a serious problem. Because it's literally the Star Wars meme, okay, where he's like at white race savior, and he's like, oh, you seem to be a bit browner than I expected. Bro, they're gonna have a white community, right? And it's just gonna be nothing but Indian people. It's gonna be Indian people, Mexicans, bunch of black people. It's hysterical, man. It's really hysterical. I don't know, man, because I think my personal opinion when it comes to Fuentes and his position, I think at the end of the day, he knows he'll turn on him. It's what Green Goblin says.
In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
Because that's exactly what's going to happen to him. Because he's not fully Aryan. He's not fully white to them, okay? So when he goes and says something they don't like, they're going to point that out. Hey, you're half Mexican. Like, his sister is Mexican. She looks Latina. She's with a Latina dude, like, as her boyfriend. Like, that's going to come up. When he says something that these racists don't like, that's going to come up. And they're going to crucify him for that. Like, you're not really even white. That's why you're talking like that, okay? Because, in all honesty, he's correct. Genuinely. He's correct. They will attack him. He won't be a part of the club. They'll allow him to create this club, and then he'll be ostracized from the club because they'll be like, hey, you Mexican. Your bloodline isn't even really pure. It is amazing. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know what the either or is here, to be honest with you, because we're literally seeing that a good swath of these accounts aren't based in America, okay? It's India, it's Asia, Pakistan, Nigeria, like, and I don't know what to tell you. They're just getting you, bro. They're exploiting your racism for a profit. And I don't know, man. It's insane to see. It's truly insane to see, and that's why they turned it off. Elon turned it off real quick. If you happen to disagree, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday, Disagreement Day. Number on the screen, you call me, duke it out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think, and subscribe. And that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, look, man. From here on out, I think we don't have that many to go. Yeah, I only got 2 more to YouTube, and the rest are really, really short posts that I have. So I don't know what to tell you. We got to wake up. We got to realize these children of ours are sociopathic and psychopathic and out of their motherfucking mind. They know who they are. We know for the most part who they are, but the majority don't because they keep blowing smoke up our asses. Wake the fuck up, please. Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. Because I can tell you, these white folks are dumber than dumb. They're mediocre at best. They can't do us. We do them. They can't beat us. We beat them at everything. On an even level playing field, we dust their fucking asses every which way but loose and any which way we want to go. That's it. It's just natural domination. And they hate that shit. This is the reason why they all up in arms trying to do this and trying to do that. Because they're weak-minded people, man. And for that, let go on.
Foreigners will come to this country and look down on Black Americans like we're like the scumbags of the earth and like turn their noses up at us and be racist towards us, and then all of a sudden when they feel like they're in some type of debacle or they need some type of help, now they're looking at us like, oh, we're supposed to be standing in solidarity, we're all POCs. It's like, well, first of all, more importantly, there is no country that you can go to on this earth where you don't have to have some type of visa or there's not some type of immigration law. So if you're in a country, any country, illegally, then at some point you're probably going to get caught and you're probably going to be deported.
Yeah, the sister is right. There's no more one-sidedness of foundational Black Americans throwing on the cape for other groups and helping other groups when they're not showing reciprocity with us. So that's why they're giving us so much hostility. And so they need to understand that this is the new norm now.
So many foreigners will...
You heard that? Fuck these immigrants from Africa trying to... Because they don't understand anything. They're very docile in their own motherfucking country. White folks just running right over their asses. Hopefully that changes because Africa is coming together as the United States of Africa. That shit changes and we beat their fucking asses in Africa and around the world. And that is happening. I mean, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? So with all of that being stated, let's look at white fatigue is reaching pandemic level. This is 13 minutes and 33 seconds, and we'll be out of here within a few, and I'll be right back.
Across a news headline that was so bad, and before they show the suspect, you just think to yourself, I hope this wasn't a black person. Listen, as black people, whenever we commit a crime, y'all, it's the entire race's fault. There is no excuses made, there's no context given, all black people are bad. But when it's a white person, y'all, there is every excuse thrown at them. Oh, we need to pray for this individual, he was troubled, he was lost. Let's just take example the incident with Charlie Kirk. When Buddy got popped, there was a lot of outrage in the first couple of days. You had white men flooding the streets, protesting, screaming, fight back. His wife hopped online, basically wishing death on the shooter, and then turn around a few days later, the suspect is released. And he was a young white man from the Caucasus Mountains. There were no more protests. Everybody was talking about coming together. His wife even hopped on and said she praying for him. And it's like, bro, I can only imagine if that was a black person or an immigrant or something like that, how the reaction would have been. White fatigue, though, y'all. It is very bad.
A federal grand jury indicted 2 North Texas men accused of plotting to invade a foreign island, kill the men, and take the women as sex slaves.
Prosecutors said, yeah. Y'all see how delusional these white supremacists be? 2 men going to a whole island and y'all... oh my... But they love to scream black people have a low IQ. What?
One of the men enlisted in the Air Force to get military training he thought he needed. Fox 4's Blake Hansen in our newsroom tonight with these stunning allegations. Blake.
Yes, Stephen Heather, federal prosecutors say the suspects didn't plan to go it alone. In fact, the feds say they plan to recruit people who are homeless in Washington, D.C. to serve on their, quote, expeditionary force and take over a small Haitian island. The grand jury...
Oh, y'all trying to go to Haiti.
Charges 21-year-old Gavin Weisenberg from Allen and 20-year-old Tanner Thomas from Argyle with conspiracy to murder, maim, or kidnap in a foreign country, as well as a charge of production of child.
Oh my! Y'all, I keep telling y'all this: the pipeline of racist white men to child PDF content possessioners. I don't even think that's a word. Every time I'm talking about, there is always a correlation. What's going?
Joe Weisenberg was booked into the Collin County Jail in July. We've not been able to find a mugshot for Thomas, Prosecutors say he was in the U.S. Air Force at the time.
Damn.
The place they are accused of plotting to invade is called Gonave Island. It is part of the Republic of Haiti. It's not small. In fact, that island has about 87,000 residents. Prosecutors.
So y'all thought, even if y'all had about 100 people, I mean, like,
say Weisenberg and Thomas plan to lead that expeditionary force by sailboats to the island, murder the men, take control of the island, and then turn the women into sex slaves, according to prosecutors. The feds say the plan dates back to August of last year. They say Weisenberg enrolled in a Rockwall Fire Academy to learn command and control protocols, but flunked out in February. They say he then traveled to Thailand to learn how to sail, but didn't enroll in the school due to the cost. The feds say Thomas, meanwhile, enlisted in the Air Force in January and in March, changed his station assignment from Germany to Maryland to better coordinate the invasion and recruit the homeless population in D.C.
This is why I have to make these videos.
Boy, white
because
folk,
people
white boy
think
don't
that this
don't
shit
think.
is like it's just online. No, these men were really going to the army just to be racist, like just to take. This is, yo. I know I'm kind of left leaning, but one thing I do promote, especially for my young black men, is the right to bear arms. Man, stay strapped. I go to the gun range at least twice a month, bro. I try to be on it because you never know what these. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay protected, bro.
We reached out to attorneys listed for Weisenberg and did not hear back. We could not find attorneys listed for Thomas. Prosecutors say they face up to life in prison if convicted on the conspiracy to murder charge.
Get a ass the chair, bro. Get him up out of here, bro. Damn, y'all. This low key scary, man.
Who would ever have imagined neo-Nazis going into video chat rooms with children trying to recruit them?
I'm an entertainer, pro-white entertainer. I hate non-whites.
And you see, they targeting kids. That pipeline. I know he got something on his computer targeting children, bro. Y'all, man, what's wrong with y'all, bro? And this is literally the reason why we have so many racist young white men that look up to, 1930s Germany and, you know what I'm saying, the mustache man, Nick Fuentes. They look at these type of people, they are indoctrinated. You know what I'm saying? Young as hell, just, hey, bro, pay attention to what your kids consume, because I be even seeing some black kids that be watching these type of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the man, what happened to us?
Okay, that's exactly what our News Channel 5 investigation discovered. The neo-Nazi in this case is a guy named John Minadio, who is part of a group, the Goyim Defense League, that spent 2 weeks in Nashville back in 2024. I confronted him on the steps of City Hall.
You have a problem with Jews in general, then? Yes, I do.
And I had continued to watch this group's activities. What I was really stunned to discover was that he was going into video chat rooms that are popular with children, berating children of color. You look like an ugly trying to recruit white children.
White power. There you go.
Convincing white boys especially that they needed to get guns and get ready to kill black people.
Shooting range. Get ready to kill.
It was, I think, by most people's estimation, pure evil. If you want to see my full investigation, in fact, you need to see my full investigation, it's online at newschannel5.com/hate.
And shout out to white people that do be standing up against this shit, dog. I'm gonna put the full stories all down below. But bro, it's just sad, dog. Like 2025, you would think shit would get better. You got fucking planning to go take over whole islands of black people, telling young kids that who's to say they're not going to go to college, continue the same type of ideology? You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's a January 6th rioter who was pardoned by President Trump and been arrested for killing a child in Florida. 44-year-old Andrew Johnson is accused of an 11-year-old boy 3 times last year. Johnson met the child on
I'm gonna be so 100. If black people are known for being violent and killing people, white people are known for doing stuff like this. And if I wasn't no race, I would choose to do the black people crimes. We murderers and killers, y'all rapists and child tittlers.
According to an affidavit, Johnson gifted the boy an iPhone to keep the abuse a secret. He also told the child that since he was pardoned for storming the Capitol. He was being awarded $10 million as a result of being a January 6er, and that he would be putting him in his will to take over what money he had left over. Trump talked about the possibility of compensating the January 6 rioters, but so far no one has received any payments.
And shout out to this Twitter page right here, man. I expose racist and you know what. And like, bro, it's just so many stories that you wouldn't even imagine these people do. And a lot of these are like child, you know what, and I really can't talk about them a lot on YouTube because the last time I tried it, they took my video down. So y'all go on these pages, they show you how sick these people are. Nobody really talks about the crimes that they commit. And it's like, you know, they love to paint black people as the problem when they're the main ones. Like, look at this. He took the life of his own baby. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to say, oh no, protect, don't be around black people, they're dangerous. Y'all are the main ones that are dangerous. You know what I'm saying, bro? So man, y'all show this Twitter page some love. Don't fall for the propaganda, bro. Black people are not the only ones committing crimes, all right? Black fatigue, no, it ain't real. White fatigue, that's most definitely should be the damn main thing. So we got a lady dropping off. I think she Instacarted some hampers and some milk, you know, the things that she needs. Take the picture. She dropped it off, you know, did her thug. White man, two white men showing up. They plotting, y'all. Thugs. Fucking thugs. What's gonna happen? I know they finna try to come back in. Yeah. Trying to hide from the king. Bruh. Dog. Nigga stole some milk. Nigga, you stole milk.
Here's a really weird family fact. My mom and dad and me and my sister all slept in the same bed growing up, and I slept in that bed till I was 8, and my sister slept in that bed till she was like 15. It was because we had no other rooms in the house. However, after my brother moved out and we had a free room, my dad decided to take me, and we were going to sleep in my brother's room, just me and my dad. And no one thought it was weird. And I found out today that my mom knew my dad was using at this time, and my dad was acting so insane and weird. And when he was like, I'm going to leave you, my wife, to sleep in a different room with my 8-year-old daughter, no biggie, my mom didn't bat an eye. And then my dad slept in this room with me until I turned 13. And the only reason it stopped was because after I turned 13, I was like, this is super weird. And I like cried to my mom because I was like, I don't want him to sleep in here, but I'm so scared he's gonna, if I kick him out, because the bond was super weird. And so my mom had to like set up a conversation so he wouldn't like freak out over me kicking him out of this room so I could finally have my own room. And it was just weird that no one seemed to like think that that was an odd choice on my dad's part.
Hold on.
Are some of the biggest abusers in the child home, you know. And I got a whole white woman accountable too, because her, like in the video, her mother didn't do anything and step in and say, hey, this is wrong. That's why I don't understand white supremacy, because white supremacy, white women are treated like shit. You know what I'm saying? It's that patriarchy that is intact with white supremacy. And she didn't really even go into detail in this video. I hope nothing happened to her. I hope we didn't touch on her, bro. That's just sick, man.
Blaming everything on white people. Oh, you're not gonna like this. World War I, white people. World War II, white people. The Vietnam War, white people. Slavery, white people. Systemic racism, white people. Racism in general, white people. Thousands of years of Asian history being wiped off this planet, white people. Africa decentralized for decades. South America decentralized for decades. The Middle East decentralized for decades, white people. Capitalism, white people. Fascism in America, white people. Oh, look at that, you're Christian. Bet. Christianity being used to justify slavery? White people. Christianity being used to justify massacring Native Americans? White people. There's a fake Christian that sold Bibles with his own names on it sitting in the White House right now that was built and maintained by slaves. This motherfucker's right. Who led Germany during the 1930s? A white Christian. Which group of people colonized Africa? White Christians. Klan members. White Christians. St. Peter's Cross being misunderstood as a symbol of Satanism. White people. Border problems. White people. White people. The metal community being full of racist, ignorant bitches. White people. Speaking of that, Pantera. White people. The current dog shit state of the movie industry. White people and capitalism. The current dog shit state of the music industry. White people and capitalism. Specifically shit like Spotify. The current dog shit state of the gaming industry. White people and capitalism. Mount Rushmore. White people. This is some colonizer shit. Native people their sacred land back. Dingoes. White people. The extinction of the dodo bird. White people. Fucking cave diving. White people. Last but not least, the useless existence of you and your mother. White people. That was 2 minutes of speed reading, and I'm barely on page 1 of the Cracker book.
Hey, bruh, he was on their ass, man. But I'm gonna say this: it ain't all white people, but it's probably gonna be a white person. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. Listen, don't fall for the propaganda with these Black Fatigue videos. Yes, black people commit crimes. Every other race commit crimes, but them highlighting one group and trying to make them the entire problem with the country is literally just propaganda. If you watching this video, bruh, and you got spare time, make some videos on these topics. You know, like, that's what they do for us, bro. They put out our bad, do the same shit. Sometimes fighting fire with firework, man. No more talking, though. If y'all want to see something similar to this, go check out Even White People Got White Fatigue, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was talking that raccoon shit at the end, trying to mitigate the criminal element that is within the very essence of white folks. If white folk did not commit no crimes up until 2020, they were pristine, they would have killed more people over these last 4 years, and they're still dying. They're still having problems physically, mentally, emotionally, physically from the vaccine. That 150 to 200 people died. That's more than what black folks and all brown skin folks did together. If you just remove everything white folks done, they never committed a crime, they've never been racist. Just over the last fucking 5 years, they would have done more damage to the earth than all of us put together. So no, bro, you got to look at it from the actual perspective of the psychology and the MO of white folks. They fucked up. So even if you add 150 plus million people who have died and still dying, and not even counting the people who have been injured, who are shaking and pissing and shitting on themselves because of the vaccine, that's another 100 million. Plus, on top of all of what they've done, come on, man. No, white folk got to get the fuck up out of here. So let's go on to the X, and this is from my boy Semitic Jew. Hold on, let me see. So I just want to make sure that we're wrapping it down. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we got 5 of these X posts that I wanted to let you guys in on and to listen to, and it just unthinkable. As to how white folks think. They actually believe that this shit don't think. My boy Semitic Jew said, "We were never helpless. We freed ourselves through resistance, revolt, survival, and self-determination. White America didn't save us, and Lincoln himself said he never intended to free enslaved people. The myth is comforting. The truth is not." Let's see.
The myth is that Lincoln freed the slaves, but Lincoln says in 1860 and 1861, it is a lie and a slander that we have any intention to abolish slavery in the slave colonies of the South, in the slave states of the South. This is just a lie, he says. So why does it happen? Well, it happens because W.E.B. Du Bois puts it in his great book, Black Reconstruction, from 1935. slaves took matters into their own hands. 500,000 of them fled from the South, withdrew their labor from the Confederacy, found their way to Union lines. And Lincoln's generals are going, what do we do with these people? What's our policy? And initially the policy was return them to their masters. But they refused to go back. They came in such numbers that this wasn't viable. And a few of the more radical Republican generals said, I'm not returning you. They were defying Lincoln, but they were defying Lincoln because enslaved people were forcing the issue. And ultimately, 200,000 of these self-emancipated black men find their way into the Union Army and Navy. Women serve as cooks and as spies. We often forget that the great Harriet Tubman, who had led a series of raids to free family members and then to free non-kin fugitives, was the most accomplished spy for the Union Army.
Now let me throw this at you. In World War II, black men did well on the test to join the Navy, more so than white men or white boys. White boys. They were beyond excellent. But upon entering the Navy, they could only cook and they could only clean, they could only do that. Ain't that a bitch? It wasn't until after the proof of their bravery, because the white boys were too scared, that they were able to what the word? I almost said infiltrate. They wanted to integrate. That's what I was saying. So Truman, after hearing all of this bullshit about what happened, this, that, and the other, he was able to integrate the Navy, Air Force, Army, and all this other shit. All right?
Lincoln eventually provided a pass which said, Harriet Tubman can go wherever she wants, because the point is, she could provide intelligence to the Union Army that no one else could provide. So this was a movement of self-emancipation. Enslaved people forced emancipation on the Union, on President Lincoln, through their own militancy, their resistance, and their mass flight from the South. So yes, history starts to look very different. And once again, we see the withdrawal of the labor of 500,000 people, both crippled the Confederacy. That's a huge withdrawal of labor power, 500,000 people, and it was adding labor power to the Union military forces. And this is a reminder of where social power lies in our society.
And who are the agents of history?
You heard it. You heard it. And it's time for us to really get to know our history. So after today, you guys, I'm going to be diverting, not digressing, but that might be the same. I'm going to shift gears to our history, because what we think we know, we don't know. What we think we know, we don't know. What we think we know, we don't know. And I'm going to be covering it in depth. So from this one, Lady Gaga's real name is Stephen Gorblecki. He is from St. Paul, Minnesota, and is a product of MK Ultra. White folks, MK Ultra. They fucked up in the head, fam. They fucked up in the head. And, okay. Huh? Okay. My wife brought me some tea. So, they fucked up in the head. I said, and it's obligated to the Queen, Soros, Gates, and these motherfuckers are crazy, insane. They've been gone. They have never been well, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. They ain't gonna never be well, cause they all fucked up in the head. You feel me? Right here. Now this is why I say we should never ever forget our ancestors and what they've gone through. Rest in peace, Ronnie Shumpert. I guess it's a Shumpert, I don't know. June 18, 2016 in Tupelo, Mississippi. After the dog mutilated his genitals and the cop knocked out his teeth by kicking him in, he was shot 3 times in the chest and once in the stomach. Didn't receive medical attention for an hour. The cop was transferred to the training academy. Why did this not make national news? That brother suffered. That brother suffered. That brother suffered till his last breath. And this white motherfucker, troglodyte bitch, never did a day in jail. Nothing. So, I'm pretty sure all the people who are listening now who are black can really understand and look at this picture. I wouldn't even want to see the real picture of this brother and what he looked like after his pre-autopsy thing. Just kicking and knocking his teeth out, and the dog is just biting all up in his ass and genitals. No heart, man. No moral fiber. No nothing. White folks are fucking dirty, man. Fucking dirty. And it pisses me the fuck off every time this shit happens. And one day, very soon, black people in America are going to say enough is enough, like we did in 1960, but we got sidetracked by the Big Six, talking about calm down. When we start beating that ass in the 60s, they shut the fuck up and sat down. Because we got tired. We got done. But it's going to happen again. And we're going to take over America, man. Because the white boy and the white girl don't know what the fuck they're doing. They really don't. They think they know what they're doing, but they don't. And here, let's take a look at this. Now, this is one of the things that I want you guys to pay attention to, because I didn't know this dude was like this. Jake Paul. I wanted to say much kudos to you. I don't know about anything else. I think the guy is a fraud. He's not no real boxer like Muhammad Ali, Joshua Gervonta. But he's making tens of millions of dollars faking these fights. And you know the goddamn well he did not beat Tyson. Let's take a look at what he says. Pay attention.
Look at her, that's royalty right there. But instead of honoring her history, they made paint out of her body. They was out here grinding up melanated mummies, turning their pigments into paint. The Mona Lisa was painted with bodies. Where you think they got the paint? Go look up Mummy Brown. Y'all have to go watch the last video. Original Black God posted me. They keep yelling AI manipulation, but y'all blind to the real illusion. America was never. People like me, it was copper skin first. So-called black people, the indigenous Moorish Americans. Black people started every culture, and they are the indigenous people all over this planet. Dig deeper into the truth, not just Google.
You heard that? Dig deeper into the truth. All over the fucking planet, we are indigenous to every part of it. The only people who were on the planet at one point were just black folks. White people, like I said a million motherfucking times, come from Dravidian albino who were coming from black women. They were so out of the ordinary, these albino, that we put them into the Central Asia. But you want to know more about that story? Read my book, The White Man's Burden of Lies and Deceit, book 1, that explains why white folks hate niggas so much. And book 2 explains what white supremacy is all about, understanding white supremacy. White supremacy is an overreaction to black oppression. I keep saying this shit because I know it's fucking true. Your boy Isaiah Israel is not a fucking dummy. I'm not reading shit wrong or reading misinformation. I'm giving you the 411.
Google and Wikipedia.
Do real research. Go to libraries. Bro, does this look like AI? Look, I'm real. I bleed, I sweat, I breathe. How am I AI, huh? So what? They're AI too? The cars, the sun, the mansion, all prompts now? You people sound insane, bro. The internet's losing its mind. It's fucking saying, oh, stop blackwashing history. How the fuck can they be blackwashing history when the proof and evidence is right in your fucking face? I swear to God. Some of you are fucking foolish mule. Like they say, you can lead a horse to water. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it fucking drink. Just whitewash history. They grinded melanated people into paint. Mummy Brown, go look it up. They dug up melanated Egyptians, turned them into powder, sold them in paint tubes to Europe. Real bones, real flesh. It was literally eating the bones too, calling it Mia, a cure made from them, all to steal the melanin. The entire modern perception of the black man in America is a manufactured lie. The first black men in the U.S. Congress were elected right after the 13th Amendment outlawed slavery. By 1871, 7 black men were serving. I'm talking about Hiram Revels, Jefferson Davis, Benjamin Turner, Robert Carlos, Josiah T. Clowns, always hide behind fucking private accounts to talk down on them. You're all fucking clowns, and not all of them are fucking liberals. They were the first Republicans of this country. You fucking Cabbage Patch. Waste of time. Bro, the only reason my fucking phone quality is low is because it's a fucking burner. The info's still HD. No argument. Black people are the owners of this planet. The only reason
Wait, what? The black people are the owners of this planet. You mean to tell me this white boy can beat the fuck out of you? Can beat the fuck out of you with the information? He know more about it than you motherfuckers in America. Y'all him and he white. He say so. This white boy, which I would call a white man now, because he's telling the truth, at least on this subject, and he beating you motherfuckers. And some of y'all, I don't know who it is, and you know who it is, are telling me I'm fucking crazy. I'm just making up some shit in my book. Man, fuck you. I know my shit is tight, and that $10,000 motherfucking dollars still on the goddamn table for anybody who wanna go up against me with my facts or the facts as it is that this white boy is telling you.
Theory is because they are afraid of a history where we are not the main characters. We never been the main characters.
Never been.
Deal with it like I did. Y'all crying AI manipulation. But look at this. They painted over so-called black history. These were the real rulers. From 1100 to 1848, Europe was run by black and brown nobility.
1100 1848? Really, from 700 to 1880. So he said 1840 something. So this is another 40 years. And you mean to tell me this white man, in respect to history, is telling you that his people ain't shit? They lying, scheming, conniving, and painting over shit. Stealing shit. Making themselves out to be more than what they are. Hold on. Let's finish it up.
How the hell was the video I did AI? I was literally in the Vatican showing y'all Moorish paintings. Y'all keep saying, oh, it's misinformation. Always trying to get blacks on the side before the fight, bro. Y'all sound so ignorant. Go research everything I said in that video. So we are all just fucking prompts now. I didn't know you could curse with AI. You fucking people sound insane, bro. This ain't a simulation. This is reality. If this is AI, then I'm the fucking Glenn. How everybody in the comments mad saying AI video, but none of y'all want to face the message. The Vatican is hiding a silver gauntlet with the last Moorish king's petrified hand, and y'all worried about filters and gym selfies? Wake up.
There it is. So we're going to run it on down. This is $2. 2 minutes and 50 seconds, then I'll make my final comment. Let's go.
Racism headquarters. This situation is another situation where a black person is being bothered. Minding his business, he's waiting for somebody in front of a building.
Please call your friend on the call box and have them come down.
They don't have to do that. You can just walk away.
I'm going to call the police right now.
Oh, yes.
White people don't like when black people are like waiting around in front of a building, especially if they live there. They're always worried about whether we live there. Oh my God. Thank God for redlining, guys. Thank God that the government redlined to make you guys feel like you own everything. Anyway, so this guy, you don't see the black dude on the camera. You hear his voice, and this guy's like, "So why are you here? Why are you here? I'm gonna call police. I'm gonna call police." He's a racist. He's a racist. questioning him, why are you standing there? And of course, the guy's like, it's none of your business. I'm waiting for a friend. What's your friend's name? Who the f are you? So he goes, I'm going to call the police. So he gets on, and he's like,
appears to be African American.
yeah, he's African American. I'll fight. I mean, real sick. What I really want to get to is this white man's son. The son who's maybe 7 years old goes, Dad, don't do this.
Daddy, go. It's the better. I agree with him, Daddy. It's the better. Let's go. Please, I don't like this. I don't like this.
Who I was really, really impressed was like, why are you bothering this man? The son had the wherewithal to go, this is not right. This isn't cool. You know, hey, Dad, whatever you're trying to teach me, I'm not down with that. And that's the age that a lot of these parents teach their kids how to have racial tension, to hate people who look different than them, especially black people. This is where they start. There's a lot of, and he's probably one of these progressive motherfuckers that you meet in yoga class and all this other shit. A lot of white people like to be selectively humane. You choose when to be humane to a person. Now, if that was a famous black person that he recognized, he'd be like, hey, man, what are you doing here? Well, it's great. Yeah, all right, man, nice to meet you. But it's just a normal black person, not famous, maybe not a coworker, and now they become a problem. But I love the way the son handled it. God bless his son that he didn't take on his father's poison and his sickness, all right, and this disgusting psychosis. That is a good little boy who's going to grow up to be a better man than his dad. And you know what's so funny about this video? The friend came over. The friend was handicapped. Came over, and the person he was waiting for actually showed up, and then all of a sudden the father turns around and acts like the victim. Get that camera out of my face. I'm surprised you didn't deck his.
There it is. That's all you got to do. Just beat the fucking shit out of them. They're playing the Wizard of Oz. How many times have I said that they're playing the Wizard of Oz game? Just pull back the curtain, you find a little bitch of a boy and a woman trapped in a man's body, woman's body. So that's it, folks. It's almost like 2 hours. So I'm not trying to tone it down to 2 hours, hour and a half. It's just what it is. And based on what I want to talk about. So I hope you got the message, and the final comment is really simple. Unity, 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 and unity. Political, economic, spiritual, and physical unity. That is our saving grace, my people. That is what the FBI chief or whatever, I can't remember his name now. You know what I'm talking about. He was dead set on black unity becoming dysfunctional, because he knew Hoover, because he knew that once black folks become united, that's it. That's it. We are a blessed people, and we are a cursed people. We are blessed beyond our wildest fucking dreams when we are united, but when we become divided, the house comes tumbling down until we become united again. Choose unity and stay united, stay on code. Know for a fact that God is with us. Justice, righteousness, truth, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, character, integrity, humility, kindness, all of those elements that are God and beyond. We must stand on the shoulders of our people, of our ancestors, because when we bless their name, we become blessed. But when we curse their name by being ununited or disunited or whatever, I don't know how you say that. You know what I'm saying. Then we get the curses. Just that. And so tonight I just wanted to say, like I always say, fuck all white folks, man. We got to be sick and tired of these motherfuckers now. We ain't getting up and doing a motherfucking thing for no motherfucker, especially fucking white ass Arabs. You're not the real Arab motherfucker. The real Arabs The real Christians have always been black. Christianity started with black folk. The real Jews have always been black. Gamal Nasser said it best. You left here black and came back white. We cannot accept you. And the list goes on and on and on and on. But come Tuesday night, you guys, get ready. Because I'm going to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane. I hate these goddamn ants. I don't know where they're coming from. Shit. But I can tell you, if you're in the Dominican Republic and you got your whole fucking house shut down, the window closed, by morning time you're going to be roasted, nice and crispy, or dead. So you got to have the windows open, man. But, it is what it is. But anyway, like I always say, you guys, for the next 24/7, 365, stay black. Peace out.